Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in this session. Build apps for your customers want on Oracle Cloud. This is a series of 3 episodes, and today's episode is about building an app from a spreadsheet using Oracle Apex. And now we are kind of like post-pandemic, and I think that many of us are starting to travel again, right? And if you look at for example, what I found here on the internet is that, and in case you're planning a next trip to Japan, right? Japan is actually now reopened for visitors. And actually, I was watching the news and I saw that, a lot of things have changed in the last 2.5 years. Yeah. So, for example, here you see like a Family Mart, a convenience store that is actually have changed and are actually rolling out unmanned stores, and it will reach 1,000 stores by 2024. And this is actually innovation, right? So it's like innovation is accelerating. Now, analysts are also saying that at the same time, according to the market survey, 81% senior tech leaders believe that their organizations need to keep up with innovation to survive. And more response to worries that they are actually lag behind the competition. And one of these ways to overcome the worry is to take action and to join the innovation megatrend. Now, innovation is actually about coming up with new ideas and realizing it to create value. Right? All of us, we will agree that this particular electric motor company is an innovative company, and we can learn actually something from them. So it actually may take them 10 years or more to build a mass market car model, right? But since then, they have come up with new models in 2 years. The reason behind this is that they took a platform approach to create a new car, and 75% of these parts are actually in common. The chassis, the battery, the drivetrain, and the integrated cooling systems are all common. With a capable platform, it takes shorter time to create new products with the highest success rate at a much, much lower cost. Well, so the learning that we can take from this electric car manufacturer is to accelerate innovation using platform approach. And the good news is it won't take a lot of like research and development time over 10 years to build a platform. And most likely you already heard about OCI. Now, OCI is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and it actually comes with a number of key technologies that supports this digital innovation today. Now, let me introduce you to the platform. Now, accelerating innovation with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is actually easy to understand. It's as easy as A, B, C, D. A for AI and machine learning, where OCI actually offers ready-to-use AI models that can understand, detect languages, extract key phrases, and understand sentiments from social media feeds. Speech to text for English, European languages, and also Hindi. And we have a model for anomaly detection and forecasting use cases as well. In our AI ML use case, that is for your specific industry purpose, for example, automating like text return review could be very useful as well. Furthermore, we can also catalog all data and analytic dashboard and machine learning models and using our data mesh. Now, B is very easy, stand for blockchain. Now, blockchain is about connecting multiple organizations, stakeholders to record and share data in a trusted and immutable way. It is basically very ideal to use for multi-party transactions in business world. Transactions always involved by sellers, bank, insurance, and sometimes tax departments as well. So at Oracle, we do offer like a blockchain cloud service using Hyperledger, and we build the tooling around it, and it allows you as a user to focus on business and chain design. And then we offload actually the technical details, and we optimize the performance for large-scale deployments. Now, C for cloud native. Cloud native, we refer to applications that is designed to utilize cloud elasticity and on-demand nature. Now, the application can tap on cloud capacity to handle peak performance for a short time and scale back to actually save time, or save costs actually. The application needs is agile, and it allows enhancements to made continuously. Now, OCI offers a complete range of these cloud native services and deliver scalability and agility using, for example, Kubernetes containers, CI/CD toolchain, and observability and management tools. Yeah. Now, in this series, we will also talk about cloud native in a more deeper discussion and also some hands-on examples there. Now, for D, it stands for digital experience. Right? In the digital world, experience is very important as it makes technology more human. So to keep your users engaged, take, for example, a mobile application. It is sometimes too difficult to navigate and use, and you will give up very quickly. Now, on OCI, right, we offer a full range of low-code application development services, and it allows you as a developer to build apps faster and spare the effort to improve on user experience. You can build web, mobile apps faster and spare the effort of time to improve your user experience. Also, we support like the build of web applications, as I mentioned, mobile applications, chatbots with text and voice capabilities, and it can be done in minutes. So the combination of ABCD here will allow you to engage users with good experiences, make your service agile, scalable, share trusted data with your business stakeholders, and achieve higher level of automation using AI. Now, let's have a look at an example where ABCD has been put into a scenario. First of all, this is the Formula One, and as you know, Oracle is a big supporter of the Red Bull racing team. And basically, what we have here is like ability to create an experience with the Formula One fans. Now, in here, we have the ability to build a mobile application, right? Using one of the digital experiences components. We can do then further fan analysis on, what they think about certain Grand Prix using the AI language pre-built service. Then we can also visualize it in an analytics dashboard and use some AI machine learning models to do discovery of factors that influence fans. From there, we can do analysis and correlation, and we can also enable a conversational interface, right, to create a better experience for the fans, right, on the mobile application. Now, let me just switch to this example here, right? Now, what we see here is a mobile application, right, that we actually built with our low-code development tool. This particular application allows like the ability to search what are the different Grand Prix, and these are this data from last year, but different Grand Prix that happens in the United States or even in Singapore, right? So when I click on Singapore or search for Singapore, it gets me the Grand Prix. I can click and it takes me to the details of that particular Singapore Grand Prix. Furthermore, you can create those experience that, instead of using a search, you can actually map it out and actually show, like, what are the different, details of the Grand Prix, where it happens. And you can actually use mapping as well to, recommend, places to stay, or, places of interest. And as a calendar, right, you allow the fans then, to download the CSV of the calendar file and, import it into their own calendar. Now, of course, we also provide the ability to create some administration pages, like, configuration options for these applications. And this is all, being accessible for the administrator, right? Like activity dashboard, top views, etc. Now, this all has been built using, Apex, which is the local tool that we are going to discuss today and that you're going to experience as well. Now, on the second stage, right, we have seen that we have the ability to look into how the fan sentiments are. Now, as you see, here are some tweets that has been posted on the website, on the mobile application. Now, what we can do here is actually do an analysis on the sentiments, right? And we have a service within OCI, as you can see here, which is called AI language. And it can help you to do text analysis or analysis on, different comments that are placed. Now, if I would take, for example, this comment here, and I will put it in here, we can actually go and analyze what is actually done. As you can see here, it detects the language, some text classification, entity recognition, and it also gets you the analysis of the sentiments. Here we have the different sentiment levels. So you can see here, this particular tweet has been identified as quite a neutral sentiment, right? Now, we have services in place that allows you to really stream all these different comments and tweets into, this AI language service, which then allows you to do more real-time analysis on the sentiments. Now, as a result, we can actually see here from what I have in the in my mobile application that the sentiments tell me that the customers or the fans actually like the Turkish Grand Prix more, right, in 2021, but actually do not like, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now, we can use all this particular data, right, to do further analysis on, what are the different factors that actually change it, right? So if you look at the factors exploration here, right, we can see that things such as do not finish or do not finish due to accidents, counts, etc., is more, attractive or give more excitement for the fans, right? So you can see here, the Brazilian Grand Prix, there's a lot of takeovers, there's a lot of switches and changes. So there's a lot of actions that is happening during that particular race. And here the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, right, there's just a few changes in there. So makes it a little bit less interesting or less exciting for the fans. So you can use, those particular services that we have as well in OCI. Now, what you might have noticed already is how do we enable things such as, chat bots, right? So, or conversational interfaces. So as you can see here, I go back here, there's a chatbot that we have activated, right? And it will be able to help us to communicate more or give a better experience to the users as well. So my name is Rodney, right? So how can I help you? So we have also enabled audio, right? So I can basically tell them, when is the next Grand Prix in Singapore? And
it will be from the 30th of September to the 2nd of October, 2022.
Yes.
Want to know more? Yes, no.
Yes, so we have enabled voice and also be able to actually talk to the bot and provide you, a better experience to the business use or the fans, right? So it's all about how innovative and how creative you're going to be, using those technologies. Yeah. So this is kind of like a very quick view, right, where you can actually leverage, the platform to really innovate your applications fast, right, and make use of, all the different facilities that are available. Now, so this aim of the platform, right, is to, and this is the digital experience platform, is to build intuitive and engaging digital experience endpoints for all different stakeholders, either your customers, your partners, or even employees. Now, today we're going to talk about Oracle Apex, but we also have other tooling in place, right? For example, right, Apex and Visual Builder. These are options for you for local development of progressive web applications and mobile applications. Oracle Content Management provides both like wizard-based as well as headless and API-driven options to build your websites and portals. And with Oracle Digital Assistant that we have seen as well, it makes it easy to build multilingual and AI-driven chatbots. And also, if you have a need to actually go and connect to backend services or different data sources, a comprehensive data and application integration capabilities that are offered by OCI, right, helps you to stitch the backends and front-end system together. For an end-to-end process, there are also capabilities such as process automation and give you the ability to build intuitive engagement interfaces. Yeah. So now let's actually move to Oracle Apex. Now, what is Oracle Apex? And for those that haven't heard about Oracle Apex before, but basically Oracle Apex is a low-code development platform that actually enables you to build scalable, secure enterprise applications with world-class that can be deployed anywhere. Of course, anywhere where Oracle database also runs. It also helps you to quickly develop and deploy compelling apps that solve real problems and provide immediate value. And you can then focus on solving the problem, and you can let Apex to take care of the rest. Okay. Now, further, what does Apex actually solve? Or low-code development, right? As you may know, a lot of organizations, they have huge backlogs of applications they require. And to meet every changing business needs, right? And to stay competitive. As an enterprise, you go through a digital transformation journey, new scenarios, new use cases, and it all requires them to build new applications. And they are needed actually yesterday. Now, the business priorities can change very rapidly, and the requirements might not be well defined, which is why these applications must be built right using rapid prototyping techniques to discover real user needs. And further, right, every organization utilizes spreadsheets, right, to disseminate the report or data. But why? It's not because spreadsheets is the best tool, but anyone can put together a spreadsheet. It is common phenomenon that multiple copies of spreadsheets can cause data inconsistency, and it flaws the business process. As a far better solution for that would be to convert those spreadsheets into web applications and to allow everyone, right, to maintain the data in a single source of truth. And from time to time, you might need to augment your existing data or applications to build new features and reports. Take an ERP system, for example. ERP systems provide common out-of-the-box functionalities. However, there is always like a situation that you look for a specific function, a report, and it's not available out of the box. So you might then find it a common business process required that the too many steps, or you want to simplify it and improve the efficiency. Now, in such cases, building an extension using Apex can deliver most needed information, greatly improve the productivity and user satisfaction. Now, beyond these three use cases, there are many more. You may share selected data with partners or customers, or by building maybe external facing applications, or create an interactive report, of application from disparate data sources. Yeah. Now, the great thing is, like, we are all talking about how simple we can build and how fast we can build. And I always believe, like, seeing is believing. So what I want to do here next is actually to show you a quick demo, right, on how we can actually build an application from a spreadsheet using Apex in a few clicks. Yeah. So for this, I'm going to switch back to Apex. Okay, let me just close all that. Now, this is the Apex development environment, right? This is basically where you log in. And after I logged in, I'm getting to my workspace. And within this workspace, there's a lot of functionality available, like to build applications. There's an app builder, right? To build your data objects. You have SQL Workshop. To collaborate with other developers, there's a team development section. And there's also a gallery where you can find a lot of pre-built applications or even sample applications on how you can use or make use of all the different various components that are available within Apex. As you can see here, this is the Formula One application that I've just shared, just showed. But let me just go and click into App Builder, and I want to create a new application. So I just want to go very quickly through this to really show you how fast you can actually build an application. Now, I have a spreadsheet that I can go and use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of the from files, or create an application from a file where I can actually upload an Excel sheet, CSV file, or XML or JSON file, right, which holds the data that I want to use for my application. Now, what Apex also does, and this is very great if you are doing, quite fast prototyping, there is sample data sets available in Apex that you can make use of, right, in order to build your prototype or showcase how fast you can prototype an application for your customer or for your company. Now, in this case, I'm going to use one of the sample data sets that's available, right? For example, the projects and tasks data sets. Now, this is just a delimited file, right, with some sample data. I click on Next, right? And now what Apex will do, it will ask me to actually, provide a name for the database object where I would like to store this data. So I just call it simply demo, right? And here is the data set that it's going to import into this particular table. When I click load data, Apex will actually create that table within the database and will insert the records into the database table. Now here I can go and view the table, or I can go and create the application. Now create the application will take me to a wizard, right, where Apex will actually use a blueprinting, right, to provide a basic or base framework of your application. Now, in this case, right, we can actually change what kind of icons we want to use. We can change the name of the application, right? We can change here the appearance. So Apex comes with pre-built themes and layouts, right? In this case, let me just choose Vita Dark. I have different ways to manage my navigation. In this case, I just use the side menu. Also, you can upload and use your custom theme for that. Furthermore, here, there are a few pages that are recommended based on, the data that it's found and find it available within that table. You have a home page, a dashboard page, a search page, and this is like a faceted search page, reports, an interactive report, and calendar functions. Here you also see like other different features that you can enable for your application. If you might remember in the Red Bull mobile application that I've shown to you, right? There is ability for an administrator to do access control, or users can give feedback within the application. You can do configuration, activity reporting, etc. Right, and also enable progressive web capability. Now I just check them all, right, because it will then give you all these functionalities and that you can use. And there are some other settings. Now what I can do here is I can create the application, and Apex will actually generate all the different pages that it requires, but not only the pages that you have seen here, but also pages to, for example, form pages to update data or to view data, etc. As you can see here, it's actually done, and we can actually go and run this application. Now, by default, all the applications that you're building, right, has a username and password login screen. Now, Apex supports all types of authentication methods and also can talk to Active Directory or to other federated type of authentication mechanisms. Now, in this case, we are using the built-in database, right? So we have a username and password. I log in, and this is basically the application that is built. It has created a home page with links to the different pages and sections of this application. It has the menu, right? I click on the dashboard. It has generated a dashboard based on the data that we've used, right? And it also created like a search page, right? So this is a faceted search page that I can say like, okay, assigned to John Watson, and these are, a project is Acme web configuration project, etc. So all this, is already available and done for you. I can show a chart and do a pie chart, right? But it has created a report page, and this is making use of a component that we call interactive grids. It has automatically created like forms for you to update the data, right? So I can change this to open, apply changes, right? And it will update it into the database itself. Now, this particular component has also search functions, but also different actions, right? So I can filter data, I can sort the data, I can create control breaks or like on the project names, for example. So it will reconfigure that for you. And you can save these reports, right, for your own use or for use for other users of this application as well. There's ability for you to download, and it will generate CSVs, Excel, PDF, right, of the data that you see, and you can even send it through email. And these are all functionalities that comes out of the box. So you don't have to really build a lot of things in order to enable these functionalities. Okay. And of course, it has created like a calendar page, and all the data has been mapped already within the calendar function. Also created administrator, as I mentioned, right? We have a dashboard with activity reports. We have the top users. In this case, that's only me with dev ID. You can add users and control the access to the applications, or even different components within the page. Now, quickly, like some customization, right? So if I would like to customize this particular page, if you notice here at the bottom, there is like a toolbar, and these are the developer toolbars that are being enabled as you are logged into the development environment. I can go and edit page. I can go and edit page 3, right? So let me just. Yeah. All right, I can just edit page 3, or I can go and do a quick edit, and I can select this area to edit, right? So let me just click on this area. It will take you to the builder tool, right? And in this builder tool, you can see on the left-hand side all the different structures of this particular page. You you can see at the center pane, you can see the layout, right? You can, at the bottom here, you see all the different regions that you can drag and drop, the different items that you can use, and buttons that you can specify. Now, I've shown here the ability to, not to filter, but to show a chart. And in this case, the chart is a pop-up. But instead of a chart in a pop-up, maybe I want to create here an area where I can have all the different charts to be displayed on top. Now, in this case, I can do that very easily. Click again here. What I will take a static content region, right? And this static content region I will be dragging into here, right? I will provide like a small HTML identifier, like a div with an ID that I call a dash. Yeah. So this is just a placeholder for me to actually place the dashboard, right? I will call this as my dashboard. Yeah. And what I can do next is I would like to change the behavior of the graph button in my faceted search in order to actually go and place all the results or the charts actually not in a dialog, but in a certain area. So I select here, it's going to be the dash. Yeah. I click on save, and I can actually go and click on run, right? So what happens now? Okay, my dashboard is over there, but I could maybe change it over the other side. If I now do a show chart, it will show all the different charts within this dashboard space, right? So this is like how actually easy you will be able to change functionality, right? Of, and this would be, I will create this as a new line. Yep. All right. So in order for you to really easily, make changes into a dashboard page. Yeah. Now this is other things that we can do as well here is easily change. Like for example, here we have the status. We can change the status into a drop-down list by simply quick edit. I'll go to status. It will take you to this particular item, and on the right-hand side, sorry, you have all the different properties of this item. You can change this into like a select list. This select list could be of a query that you get the data from the database or static values. In this scenario, let me just do quick static values, and I run it, right? I go back here, I close this, I click here again, and you can see here it has been changed to drop down with the different values, right? So you can do layout, you can do all the other changes as well. Now, if you're not so good in HTML or CSS, right? We can help you here, and Apex actually help you here to customize the look and feel as well. So here's like a customized where you have a theme roller, and within this theme roller, we can actually choose the different themes. Now let's change to Redwood theme. And here we can have different options for those themes. So I would like to have a contained, and this should be a pine color theme. Appearance, all right, the header should be dark. I would like to have the navigation pillar, and I would like to have the body dark color and a dark background. Okay, I can provide custom CSSs as well that I can do here, right? But of course, you can have your own custom based on the Vita, and it will give you color corrections. It will tell you whether the colors chosen are proper using the accessibility type of controls, right? So here we see this is like the new look and feel, and I can easily go and make those changes. Yeah. So this kind of like conclude like a quick demo on how we can easily start building an application in Apex very quickly and easily, right? Later on today, we will build our own hands-on labs where you can actually experience this as well, and and play with the tools yourself. Now, just do a capabilities, right? So Apex, right? We have basically no coding required to actually build an application. In my demo, I didn't really do a lot of coding, no coding at all. But of course, what you need to understand, you can do coding as well. We support the server-side JavaScripts, JavaScripts, client-side JavaScripts, HTML5, CSS, SQL, and also connect to REST. There's workflow capabilities built in this tool as well. So if you need to do some workflow in your application, you can basically do that. The development is pure browser-based. You don't need any additional IDEs. You can preview and make changes directly to your applications. As you have seen as well, there's a comprehensive set of components, and we have seen the faceted search. We have maps, and you will be working with maps as well in your hands-on lab today. There are interactive reports and many more other components that can be utilized, yeah, for your application. It supports like globalization and localization, and also accessibility. We see our customers using Apex as well to extend their SaaS applications that they're using, or even like on-premise applications. We have seen, consultancy firms and that are using Apex to do rapid prototyping for their customers before they actually roll out a new application. And all these applications are all pluggable into a web front end. If you wanted to build a small function or a portal, we can also, if you can see, import Excel to auto-generate applications. So it's easily, making building an application, a multi-user application using Apex out of an Excel sheet. We have options to actually run it on premise, right? But it also runs on our Oracle Autonomous Database, which will be the ATP database or the data warehouse database versions. And you can build basically responsive applications. There's progressive web application support, and you can design data models and also create REST APIs. So if you would like to expose the data right from your schema of your data objects to be used for other applications, in Apex you can actually create REST endpoints to your data and expose that for other applications. Yeah, so basically, right, Apex is a comprehensive local platform. We have seen it provides app builder, SQL workshop, team development, app gallery. I've mentioned that you can actually expose your data as RESTful services. There's an object browser to actually go and create schemas, modify your database objects, etc. There's functionalities and features that help you to do data loading in bulk, and of course also monitor your application as well. We have a lot of sample applications that help you to get familiar with the different components that are available in Apex, right? And also like sample applications to how you can actually use the workflow functionality, how you can use a calendar, how you can use cards, etc. So all these sample applications are all there. You just click on the simple application, you install it, and it will be deployed, and you can actually run it and use that to actually learn about how to utilize all these different components. We also have starter applications that actually can help you to accelerate building some of the applications that you might need in your organization or for your customers, right? There is a customers application where you can manage all different customer information, purchases they have done, etc. There's an opportunity application, there's a poll application, and a team calendar application that you can just use as is, or you can even like modify it and make it your own. Now, what's great about Apex? Apex is basically available for all Oracle databases, from on-premises to autonomous in OCI, or even if you are on our Exadata Cloud at Customers offering, and it can give you the ability to match your needs. And basically, to get started, and that's what we do today, right? We are going to use the Apex service. With the OCI Apex service, you can actually develop and deploy on a pre-configured, fully managed, and secured environment without any hassle to upkeep the database or the environment or manual maintenance. This service will actually provide you everything you need. And you don't have to be an expert in all these underlying technologies, such as database administration, network engineering, security, or even system architecture. Oracle, as us, we will take care of all of that, from basically configuring it, tuning it, backing up, and patching, encryption, scaling, and many more things, right, that we will do for you. So this actually free you up that you can focus on, solving your business problems. And as you can see, there's no limit to the number of applications that you can develop. There's no limitation on the number of developers using the service, and also, the number of end users using the application that you have built. And as you can see, this service can scale up to 128 OCPUs or OCPUs as Oracle CPUs, which are two threads per OCPU. So you could talk about 256 vCPUs that you can use over 182 terabytes of storage. Yeah, so a quick one of our customers, just to showcase you, right? This is a customer in Singapore. They're actually a logistic company, right? They have been building a lot of their core systems using Apex. With that, they have cost their development cost by 14% using Oracle Apex on our transaction processing database or ATP database. They have reduced the cost of system updates and maintenance without any constraints on memory or boosting performance and the IT team's efficiency. They reduced the time to take to develop the application and roll them out, and they are able to deliver reports and operational analytics for their stakeholders 5 times faster than before. Okay. And they analyze thousands of shipments within seconds. So that's all about the scalability and the benefits that they have just building an application on Apex on Oracle cloud infrastructure. Yeah. Now, the most important thing here, the most interesting thing here is all talking about let's do it ourselves, right? Now, we will be doing the workshop today, right? So we will be starting helping you to get an instance provisioned. And for those that are asked to register, right, please use the email ID that you have registered for this session, as we have whitelisted your email ID in order for you to get a trial account with additional credits. Yeah. So in this particular workshop, we will build an Apex application, right, where we will be, having a database or data from New York high schools, and we will be working on faceted searches. We will be working on adding maps to this particular application and how you can use the map components, and also how you can do reporting and link calendars as well. here. So if you have your phone in front of you, or please go and click on or scan the QR code. If we will be sharing as well the link in the chat, right, to this hands-on lab. And before we move to the hands-on lab, I would like to ask you to help me to fill in this poll. Sorry, I will be a poll here, poll questions coming up. Just to understand to you where you are, right? Where we can help and how we can, be and change and optimize our workshops. Yeah. Okay, while we are scanning, let me just get you the link. Okay. We will wait until you have finished the poll.
Ronnie, while waiting, right, can you answer some of the questions on the Q&A, please?
Yes, let's address some of the questions on the Q&A. Let's look at the open question. So there's a question about using Oracle Siebel application and the database. And could you please tell how to integrate Oracle Apex with it, and how Oracle Chatbot with was shown earlier into the Spreadsheet can be integrated into it. Okay, yeah. So typically what we do if we want to integrate with Siebel, we make use of our integration cloud service. Now, the great thing about that is that it provides a lot of pre-built adapters that understand Siebel APIs, right? So you don't have to build your own APIs or try to understand the APIs in Siebel. But using our integration cloud, you will have access to all these APIs. And these APIs are already providing JSON responses and are REST-based APIs. Within Apex, we can easily talk to REST services and REST APIs and manage them in there as well. And as for chatbots, the Oracle Digital Assistant, which is ODA, is our chatbot service, provide or supports the ability to expose bots in different channels. Now, and one of the channels is a web channel. Now we have a web SDK. We also have Android and iOS SDKs that you can use to actually create or connect to a digital assistant. And as for Siebel, right, if you can embed the web SDK or the web channel into Siebel, then you will be able to enable that very easily. And hope this have answered your question, Anusha. Then we have another. We are using on-premise database standard edition. Is Apex included to the license? How do we enable it if included? So the answer is yes. Apex is actually a feature of Oracle Database. So if you have a Oracle Database license, then you are also licensed to use Apex. And we have various documentation that we can share with you on how to enable that, right? If you could help me to with that documentation on there. Any limitations of Apex which need to keep in mind while choosing for web application development. Now, there are what type of limitations? Well, there's actually not really a limitation. The only limitation I would say it would be if you're not using Oracle database. As Apex is part of as a function of Oracle database, you will require to have an Oracle database in order to build applications using Apex. Yeah. Other limitations, I mean, there are so many things. I can't really think about one at this moment. What's the impact of version changes so fast our application? Well, if you're running Apex, or you're running or build your application on Oracle Cloud infrastructure, now we will push all the updates to update also Apex and the database below. What happens is that we will give you the ability to actually defer an upgrade, right? So you can actually go and set up maybe a test environment using the latest versions, load in your application there, and test the changes, whether it's give any issues to your application, right? Or you can actually go and run it, right? So as Oracle will update it, right? The versions and patching, we will give you the ability to defer that and test your application before you accepting the new updates of Apex. Yeah. So hopefully that makes. When you show update records in the update demo table, is it possible to update real-time data in Oracle table? If I do the update there, actually, it is actually updated in real time in the Oracle table. So there's no buff. There's no. So basically, what you've seen there, once I update the data, it's immediately updated in the database as well. Then, can you share extend SaaS using Apex? Isn't Visual Builder preferred option to do so? Well, if you are, it really depends on your use case, right? So if you purely are looking into changing the UI front end and not doing any transactional data, then of course you can use Visual Builder for that. For Apex, will give you the ability to really do some more data processing. So it really depends on your use case if you want to extend Oracle SaaS. Only developer can upload. We can upload access to users. I'm not sure, Swati. This is a question for Swati. Not sure exactly what you mean with upload. But basically, if you're building an application that you will want to allow business users to upload data or to upload files or whatsoever, then you can do that. Yeah, so it really depends on what you were trying to build. What's the difference between Apex and ORDS? Well, ORDS is what we call Oracle REST Data Service. It's a communication that actually Apex uses, right? So in order for you to, when I access the user interface, I'm actually going through ORDS to retrieve my application, right? So ORDS is the ability for the browser actually to communicate to Apex. Generate statistics reports from those files. What you can do with statistics reports, XSLB, you might want to, import that into Apex as structured data, and then from there you can actually build reports using either some of the components, or if you really need to build only statistic reports, you might even want to use maybe our analytics cloud for that, right? In order, if you don't need an application, but you just need to create statistical reports, then maybe analytics cloud would be a more better solution for that. What would be very beneficial to use Oracle Apex to run SOAP and REST web services to run PLSQL code? Would it be very beneficial to? I'm trying to understand that, Shazin. To run PLSQL. So basically, Oracle Apex is making use of SQL and PLSQL, right, in order to access data, but even to do some types of logic, right? Now SOAP and REST web service. Now we're talking about web applications. So the preferred, way to communicate is through REST, right? And it's supported, out of the box. You can talk to REST web services and ingest data or communicate through that. For SOAP, what we tend to do is we tend to use OIC to do the translation of SOAP into REST, right? So that it's easier for Apex to talk to. Now, SOAP packages can be quite heavy, and I think that would be the best way to use integration cloud for doing the translation of SOAP to REST. Can we generate statistics report? Or we have that already. Which version do we require to use mobile applications? So if you have the latest version, of course, of Apex, this is 22.2, which has the ability for you to enable progressive web applications. Now, before that, all the user interfaces that are used, of all the user interface that you build using Apex are already responsive in nature, so they already have responsive design concepts in there. But with PWA support, you can actually install the application, and all these UI artifacts will be stored onto your device, and it will give you a more seamless experience as a mobile application than the progressive web app. So version 22.2, EBS data API using Apex. Well, if you have your EBS, you might want to maybe install ORDS onto your Oracle database and create REST endpoints with via your ORDS instance. You don't really need Apex for that, but if you have ORDS, you can actually create endpoints into your database. Can we build matrix forms and reports? Matrix forms and reports. I'm not sure exactly what you mean with that. How it managed the user connection with the database, multiple or single. It's basically using it's basically very transparent for you, right? So we will be managing the database, but it's basically using connection pooling, right, through ORDS. So it's all multiple connection pooling. Can we use AWS S3 as a backend for Apex? You can, if you expose APIs. So for AWS S3, just expose APIs and we can talk to the API directly to that. But for Apex, we do need Oracle database. Yeah. Can we download as desktop application to use for development offline? No, unfortunately, Apex, if you have an Apex installation running on premise, or you can even set it up on your own laptop using Oracle XE, then you can have an Apex instance running on your laptop, right? So that's the closest to developing on your desktop. Then on mobile apps, so API and APK files, we do not support hybrid mobile application developments or native for Apex. So Apex does progressive web application. Oracle 11g forms to Apex applications. Yes, there's a whole section where there is a whole migration process to actually help you to migrate or modernize Oracle Forms applications to Apex. As the underlying technology, they're all using PL/SQL code, and you can easily modernize that. There's a whole, a lot of information about that, and maybe you can check Oracle of apex.oracle.com. It will take you to the right documentation where you can find a lot of information on forms to Apex. without licensing for the practice? Well, if the easiest one is, you just use, if you go to apex.oracle.com, you can actually request a free workspace, which you can just use for practicing. Now for here, in this particular session, we will help you to set up your own free service, right? Using OCI. So you just, it will really make it easy for you to practice as well like that. Okay, so I think I have too many questions going. We only have 30 minutes left. Now I really want to go in, kickstarting you to start the hands-on lab. So in order for you to start, right, please go to signup.cloud.oracle.com. Yeah, you will get an always free service for unlimited time. In this case, we give you an additional free credits for you to use, and you can also use those credits as well to for other services that you would like to try out in Oracle, right? So please do log in now. Use your email address that you have registered with us for this session in order to sign up. Yeah. The QR, you can also scan the QR code. It will take you to the sign up page as well. Okay. So once you sign up, and I have the URL still here, what we were going to do is we're going to actually create an Apex service, right, in order for you to start building the application. Then we are going to build an app from an Excel sheet. I haven't updated my these furthermore are required, not required, but furthermore from there we're going to then refine the application and then eventually enable it as a PWA, and then you can actually go and run it yourself, right? So let me give you like about 10 minutes, right? Maybe I'll make it like 5 minutes in order for you to sign up and this service, and I'll get back to you. And if you have any problems with signing up, please reach out to the team, and you can, or to the Q&A, and we can help you further on that. Yeah, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, I think the timer stopped a bit, but so once you've actually signed up, right, you can go and go to the live lab. My team has already posted the link to the live lab onto the chat channel. Now, once you have clicked on that link, right, you will be seeing this particular page, right, where the live lab is building an application with a spreadsheet. It will take about 45 minutes to do, and it has all the different introductions. So once you have signed up and you have ready, then click on the start here. And when you click on start, you just say run on your own tenancy, right? And it will take you to the lab steps itself. From there, you navigate to getting started, and you actually choose option 1, Apex service. Now, here are all the different steps, right, for you to provision an Apex service on your tenancy, right? And once you have actually created that service, right, it will it will basically ask you as well to create a workspace, and the workspace will then be the one that you use to build your own application. Yeah. So please go ahead, right? And and log into your cloud account. So let me just log in here as well. So cloud.oracle.com, that's the URL. You select your account name. In my case, it's an SSO, your username and password. And it will actually take you to the landing page of your Oracle Cloud. Now, from here, you actually navigate to developer services, right? And under developer services, you have Apex instances. Under Apex application development, you click on there. And then what you do, you have an item, say, like, create an Apex service, right? You click on that. You provide the compartment name. This is just basically your root domain, right? The display name, so a name on how you would like to name your Apex instance, the name of the database. And then what you do is you click on always free. Yeah. So that means that you can actually go and use the Apex service for always free, right? Without using the credits that you have. In that case, right, you just provide the CPU count, the storage count, and here you can optionally select the auto scaling and storage auto scaling. In this case, for us, we actually do not need to do that because we are just practicing. Now, what is important is that you do remember, right, your passwords, because these passwords will also be used in order for you to create a workspace, right? So please note it somewhere, right? Don't forget the password, and it's an admin user. And then you can actually go and choose the different network accesses. In our case, we just use secure access from everywhere, which means that it will use SSL to actually go and connect, and you can actually connect to this service over the internet. Now, then you provide your email ID, and this is the email ID that you have registered with, right? From there, you create an Apex service, and it will take a few minutes, not less, no more, but to actually help build up the Apex instance. Yeah. So once it's created, then you will see it listed here in your list, right? The name that you've given. You can then click on the Apex instance itself. You will see it is available. You will see some of the details there. And what you can do then, you can click on Launch Apex, and it will take you to the Apex login screen, right? Now, the login screen where it takes you to, it will take you to the administrative service, right? Where you here are actually using the admin password that you have used in order to create your Apex instance to sign into the administration, right? So once signed into the administration, then you can actually create a workspace. Okay, that is point number 9 here. Once you create a workspace, you create a new schema, and then you use the workspace name demo, and your password for this workspace. Okay. So once you have done that, you create workspace, then the workspace will be created. From there, you will log out, and once you log out, then you will be able to access your workspace using the demo account that you have created here on 11. Yeah. So what I'll do is I will allow you to run through. We have done the provisioning, right? So run through the getting started part, right? Where you create an Apex service. Yeah. So I'll give you a another 5 minutes to do that. And I'll be back. Okay. I hope that everybody was able to create an instance and a workspace. Right. So what I'm going to do now is go to the first lab exercise, where we actually are going to create an app from a spreadsheet. Yeah. Now, within this lab, we will be loading the high school data. And from there, we will be creating the application. We will then run and explore the new application. Now, in here, right, first of all, once we have created the workspace, we will log into our workspace and create a new app. Now, let me get my Apex instance as well. So I'm going to go back to the home, right? So what they want to do is to create an app, right? Create a new app. So what we're going to do is from here, we go to app builder. We then click on create, and then we create a new application. All right. So to create a new application, we choose to create a new application from a file. Right. Create a new application from a file. From there, we're going to choose the file. And please note here, right, in your description, that you can actually download the CSV file, which contains the data from this particular link here. Yeah. So I'm going to download the file. Yeah. And the CSV file is now downloaded. And now I'm going to go into my Apex instance. I'll go back here, sorry. And I choose the file here, and the file should be in my downloads, right? So I have got the high school here. I click on open. Okay. So now it's asking me to for a table name. Now in the description here, it says like, okay, the description name, we can use New York City high schools. Right. So I'm going to create New York City high schools. What else do I need to do? Is after that, I just click on load data. So high schools, click on load data. What it will do, it will create a table and it will insert all the data into that particular table. Now, in this case here, what is the next step that we need to do? Task number 2 is to view the table, right? So let's view the table. So you can see here, it created the table. Here we have all the different column names of the table. We see that the ID is a unique ID that is being registered, generated. We can go here and look into the data itself, right? And this is the table. Now, the next step would be on this particular table, right? We want to create an application. Now, let's go and create the application. So here we have our table. We have here a button to create the application, right? Then I click on create application and it will open up the wizard right here. So what's the next step? We provide the name, New York High Schools, and click on the application icon, this application icon, to actually choose an application icon, or we can upload our own icon. Yeah. So in this case, we show how you can upload your own icon and save it into Apex, right? So let's do that. Let's go and change the name. Yeah, New York High Schools. I am going to use one of our default icons. Yeah, so you can choose your own icon. I will create this one here. Save icon. Yeah, let's change it. Now, the next step would be is to create an application page, review it. You can click on an edit button. Yeah, and then you can actually go and change the names for here, right? So what I'm going to do, one is going to be New York High School Search, and one is going to be New York High School Report. So I'm going to change the names of these here. So I click on Edit. I will rename this. Yeah. Save. And edit this one as well. Okay. So the next step would be to actually enable, right, the progressive web application feature, and then create applications. But you can also choose to select all, so you can, see as well what are the other feature pages that are being built, right? So let's do that. I click on check all, and then it asks me to go and create the application. So now what happens, it will basically create all the basic framework for this application. Okay. And then you can see here, it has generated the 5 pages that it says it will do. It has created a login page, administration page, etc. Right. Going back here, now we can actually go and run the application. So we can click on Run Applications, and we'll open up a new browser tab. And then you can actually log in with the username and password that you have used to log into this workspace, right? In this case, we click on Sign In. We use our demo account, demo, our demo and your password, and then we sign in. Then we can explore the application. We can look at the dashboard. We can look at the search. We can look at the high schools report. So let's do that. We run the application. I'm using my account here that I created to my workspace. I click on sign in. Yeah. You can see here, it has my dashboard, right? It has my search page, and it has my report page. And I choose administration or features, so it has my administration page here. And you can see here it has the feedback that we selected, and also the about pages and the page help pages that it also generated for you. Yeah. So this kind of like concludes exercise 1, right? So I'm going to go back to the workshop details, right? So I will give you 5 minutes to complete your exercise before we go into lab 2. Okay, and I think we had enough time to do lab 1. Now I'm looking at the time, and we actually run over a bit. So the other exercises like 2 is basically talking about improving the faceted search. Lab 3 will be improving the report and the form, and 4 will be using the maps and the progressive web application that you can enable. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to run you through those. However, the exercises itself, right, are designed in such a way that they have all the different instructions, and it's already a step-by-step. At this moment, you should have your basic or your base application ready from the spreadsheet, right? And from there, you should be able to continue, building this application. Yeah. So again, right, so the faceted search, enhance the facets, collapsing the facets, improve the reports. There's also like some videos that, guides you through those steps, right? Then we got creating a map and enabling your application to be progressive, right? And how you can go and test it yourself, right? So there are videos in place. So if you want to watch the videos first before you do the steps, then it could be very useful and helpful as well. Now, in order for me to give you some more details, right? Basically, what I want to make you share with you as well is this is the first episode of the series, right? The next episode will be about the introduction to cloud native on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, right? Where you can learn how to deploy applications into cloud native microservices-based development, right? This particular session is scheduled to be presented on the 23rd of March. Follow up by build your perfect digital assistant for your business. And this workshop is scheduled to be on the 20th of April, right? So do sign up. And it's, we're going to go, step by step as well with you there. Now, for those that would like to, talk to our product management or to be updated on the latest and the greatest on Apex, there will be the first Apex office hours in JPEG. So this is like for our time zone. So it's be very useful. Please do subscribe, right? Subscribe there. There's a lot of things that will be shared, right? And by product management, you can talk directly to product management. And, the first one, the session will be held quite soon on the 23rd of February, which is like next week. So do sign up, apex.oracle.com, go/JPEG. And furthermore, what is also very interesting as well is we provide free foundations learning path for Apex, right? So here you learn the fundamentals of low-code application development with Apex. You'll get a nice Oracle Apex Foundation badge, which you can share on your social media, right? That you have run through this particular foundation course, right? It takes about 3.5 hours of and 3.5 hours expert training is provided there. You can enroll and learn for free on the Oracle University. So just go to apex.oracle.com/go/foundations. Yeah. What we'll be providing soon as well is to provide this particular course or foundation course on LinkedIn Learning and also on Coursera. And you will get updated with, the Apex Developer Professional and updated certification. And it's all for free. So really, make use of that. Yeah. And, get your certification for free. And furthermore, some other resources, Apex on Autonomous Database. There's Apex Portal, Feature Builder, and there's assistant information as well, right? Of course, you can always Google on these as well. Yeah. So again, and thank you for your time today, attending to here. We will be, for those who have signed up and registered for this session, we will provide you the different links as well as a follow-up email, and also the links to this foundation course, the links to the additional resources, right? And as well, and hope that I will see many of you, returning to our next session, right? Will be the cloud native session where you can learn about how you can use OCI for your cloud native development. Again, thank you very much. And I wish you a very good day.